Welcome, history enthusiasts, to Kingdoms and Relics. I'm your host, and today we're re-embarking on an epic journey back in time to an empire that shaped the very foundations of Western civilization. How did they achieve such unparalleled dominance? What were the secrets of their success, their innovations, and ultimately, their decline? According to legend, Rome was founded in 753 BC by twin brothers, Romulus and Remus. While the myth is compelling, the reality was a gradual evolution, heavily influenced by their Etruscan neighbors to the north. The Senate, composed of elder statesmen, served as an advisory body, wielding immense influence. The Romans were pragmatic innovators, focused on solutions that served the practical needs of their burgeoning empire. Imagine stunning footage or 3D renders of Roman aqueducts, roads, and bridges here, sweeping majestically across the screen. And then there were the various assemblies, where Roman citizens could vote on laws and elect officials. Their unique formula, incorporating volcanic ash, allowed them to construct massive, durable structures that still stand today, defying millennia of weathering. These weren't just soldiers, they were highly disciplined, professional fighting machines, renowned for their organization, training, and innovative tactics. Their equipment was standardized and effective, the iconic gladius, the pilum, and the large scutum. But it was their discipline and their ability to adapt formations, like the famous testudo formation for siege warfare, that made them virtually unstoppable. A visual breakdown of a Roman legion's structure, cohorts, centuries, individual soldiers with their equipment would clarify this. Footage of Roman legions marching, training, or in battle formation, perhaps reenactments, would bring this to life. They adopted and adapted much from the Greeks, particularly in philosophy, art, and literature. They loved their public games, the chariot races in the Circus Maximus, the gladiatorial contests in the Colosseum, spectacles that served as both entertainment and a means for emperors to maintain public favor. The late Republic was a period of intense civil strife, culminating in the rise of one of history's most iconic figures, Julius Caesar. In 27 BC, he masterfully consolidated power, effectively ending the Republic and becoming the first Roman emperor, taking the title Augustus. From the enlightened rule of Trajan, under whom the empire reached its greatest territorial extent, to the eccentricities of Caligula, a combination of factors contributed to Rome's eventual weakening: economic instability, rampant corruption, constant external threats from barbarian tribes, and internal political strife. The Latin language evolved into the Romance languages: French, Spanish, Italian, Portuguese, Romanian, and heavily influenced English. Roman law forms the basis of legal systems across Europe and beyond. Roman architecture and engineering continue to inspire, from the grandeur of the Pantheon to the functionality of our modern roads and bridges. If you enjoyed this journey through time, make sure to hit that like button. Subscribe to Kingdoms and Relics for more epic historical explorations, and let me know in the comments below what aspect of ancient Rome fascinates you the most. Is it the legions, the emperors, the everyday life, or something else entirely? We love hearing your thoughts. Until next time, keep exploring the kingdoms and relics of our past. A quick visual montage of these legacies, a world map highlighting Romance languages, modern courthouses, famous modern buildings with Roman influences. By the 4th century AD, the empire was divided into East and West, and in 476 AD, the Western Roman Empire formally collapsed, marking the end of an era. Visuals transitioning from the vast empire to a map showing its division, then scenes depicting barbarian incursions and the final collapse, and Nero and the stoicism of Marcus Aurelius. Each emperor left their indelible mark. A montage of various famous Roman emperors' busts or depictions would serve well here. The very idea of a powerful, unified state ruling over vast territories, and the notion of a common culture binding diverse peoples, can trace its roots back to Rome. Images of classical art, philosophical texts, and perhaps even modern political symbols with Roman echo. This marked the beginning of the Roman Empire, an era of unprecedented peace and prosperity known as the Pax Romana, which lasted for over 200 years. The story of Rome is a testament to human ingenuity, ambition, and resilience, a tale of power, progress, and ultimately the ebb and flow of history itself. Transition visuals from Republican symbols to imperial ones, focusing on Augustus and the peace he brought. His military conquests and political maneuvering set the stage for a dramatic shift. Dramatic visuals of Julius Caesar, perhaps a bust, then battle scenes and political intrigue. Footage of chariot races, gladiatorial combat, and scenes from Roman plays or banquets would be perfect here. They not only conquered but also maintained control, building forts, establishing garrisons, and pacifying newly acquired territories. Education was valued, particularly for the elite, focusing on rhetoric, law, and history. And of course, Roman law, with its emphasis on justice, property rights, and due process, became a monumental legacy. influencing legal systems worldwide for millennia. Visuals depicting Roman family life, a classroom scene, or a scroll illustrating legal texts would enhance this segment. A bustling 3D reconstruction of ancient Rome would immerse viewers. Market scenes, the forum, people going about their daily lives. Their military machine was a cornerstone of Roman power, enabling them to project their influence across an entire continent. A map highlighting key Roman military campaigns and famous battles. For example, the Punic Wars or Gallic Wars should be shown here. Imagine cities bustling with hundreds of thousands of people, all requiring fresh water. The Romans, with their ingenious use of gravity and art, built elaborate networks of channels and bridges that brought clean water from distant sources directly into their cities, supplying public baths, fountains, and even private homes. This wasn't just about hygiene. It was a testament to their administrative capacity and their commitment to urban living. An animation showing how a Roman aqueduct worked, illustrating water flow, should play out. Below them were the plebeians, the common citizens, including farmers, artisans, and merchants. While initially having fewer rights, the plebeians gradually gained more political influence over centuries through intense social and political struggles. And at the very bottom were the slaves, a massive segment of the population, often captives of war, who performed a vast array of labor. From mining to teaching, visual depictions of Roman social classes, patricians, plebeians, slaves, should be respectful and informative. This innovation alone revolutionized architecture, enabling feats like the Pantheon's massive dome, a close-up on Roman concrete, perhaps an explanatory graphic detailing its composition, would be excellent here. This intricate system, though often fraught with political influence, allowed Rome to expand and consolidate its power, absorbing its neighbors and forging alliances. Visualize an animated map here, showing the growth of Rome from a small settlement, highlighting key early conquests and then images of early Roman artifacts and primitive settlements. Picture a quick montage here. A legionary, a bust of Caesar, a Roman road, an aqueduct, a mosaic, all flashing by. Grab your togas and prepare to be amazed, because in this video, we're diving deep into the grandeur, the genius, and the sheer audacity of the Eternal City. Let's begin. A sleek, animated title card fades in Kingdoms and Relics presents the Eternal City, unraveling the grandeur of ancient Rome and constructed arteries, often paved with stone, connecting every corner of the empire. They facilitated rapid troop movement, efficient trade, and a swift dissemination of information. These roads were the veins of the empire, pumping life and commerce throughout its vast body. A comprehensive map showing the vast network of Roman roads across the entire empire should be displayed. An empire whose echoes still resonate through our laws, our language, and our architecture. We're talking, of course, about ancient Rome. Imagine epic, sweeping drone shots of Roman ruins like the Colosseum or Roman Forum at sunrise or sunset here, with upbeat, heroic orchestral music beginning to swell, and establish something truly revolutionary for its time. A republic. This wasn't a democracy in the modern sense, but a complex system of checks and balances, designed to prevent any one individual from wielding absolute power. A clear, simple diagram illustrating the Roman Republic's structure should pop up here. Consuls, Senate, assemblies, with brief labels. From humble beginnings as a small city-state on the Tiber, Rome exploded into a colossal empire, stretching from the deserts of Africa to the misty shores of Britain. Our story begins not with emperors and gladiators, but with a collection of Latin villages nestled among the 7 hills overlooking the Tiber River. For centuries, Rome was a monarchy, but by 509 BC, the Roman people, tired of tyrannical kings, overthrew their last monarch, Lucius Tarquinius Superbus. At its heart were the consuls, 2 chief magistrates elected annually, who held executive power and commanded the armies. What truly set Rome apart was not just its military might, but its unparalleled engineering prowess. Take Roman concrete, for example. This wasn't just any more, but perhaps their most iconic contribution was the aqueduct system. These weren't just dirt tracks. They were meticulously planned, and let's not forget the Roman roads. The expansion of Rome wouldn't have been possible without its formidable military. The Roman legions, a typical legion comprised around 5,000 highly trained infantry, supported by cavalry and engineers. From the titanic struggles against Carthage in the Punic Wars, to Caesar's conquest of Gaul, and the expansion into Britannia, the legions were the iron fist of Rome. Beyond the grand engineering and military might, what was daily life like for the average Roman? Roman society was complex, stratified, and vibrant. At the top were the patricians, the aristocratic elite, holding most of the political power and wealth. Roman culture was rich and diverse. Family was the bedrock of Roman society, with the paterfamilias holding immense authority. The Roman Republic, for all its strengths, was ultimately undone by its own success and the ambitions of powerful individuals. After Caesar's assassination, his adopted son, Octavian, emerged victorious from a brutal power struggle. The empire saw a succession of emperors, some brilliant, some tyrannical, some utterly insane. But even the mightiest empires eventually faced decline. But the fall of the Western Empire was not the end of Rome's influence. Its legacy is truly eternal. Their concepts of governance, citizenship, and the pursuit of order resonated for centuries, inspiring later empires and there you have it, a journey through the heart of ancient Rome, from its mythical beginnings to its incredible rise, its engineering marvels, its military might, its vibrant culture, and its enduring legacy. Thank you for joining me on this deep dive into one of the most fascinating civilizations the world has ever known.